Don't take home, but you feeling me. Be real with me. Look at that gum right there. Hey. Niggas a kill for me. Wait. How come my dog in late? Oh. That's a bitch on me. Like to be Temple. Oh. What's David Campbell? Oh. Or triple. Oh. I'm not your average or typical. Look at the rest of this critical. Peace, what's good? What's good? What's going on, family? Let me shut this off real quick. Migos, let me turn that shit off. Turn them niggas off, man. Turn them motherfuckers off. Peace, peace, what's good, family? This your boy, Elevated Ace, and I'm here to pass down knowledge of the information that I resonate with to help those that seek spiritual enlightenment. Yeah, let's go. You know what it is. All right, this is gonna be part 4 of the astrology. You know what I'm saying? Of the astrology videos, basically part 4. And we're gonna be, the last one I hit you with was the transition. So I gave you how to planets transition through the houses. You know, this one is gonna be pretty much building off of that. All right. So this is gonna be part 4 of the astrology series. Okay. This is basically this video here is gonna be. Let me see. Make sure I got my notes all together and everything this time. I don't want to miss nothing. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we got that. We got that, we got that, we got that. Okay, it's all good. So this one is going to be basically a basic analogy on your zodiac sign, okay? A basic analogy on your zodiac sign. Last time I hit you with the houses, I hit you with how the energies work and how the houses, you know what I'm saying, give up the energy. Now, I told you the houses, right? The houses birthed the constellations. The constellations are the signs. So Aries is a constellation. Taurus is a constellation. Right? Aries is the first house. But the first house energy is always going to be the first house energy. So the first house only represents, Aries represents the first house because the first house gave birth to Aries, okay? So the first house energies, I already gave you what the house energies were in the last video. You know, like the first house is dealing with the self, right? Dealing with the personality. You know what I'm saying? And I brought all that to you. So now we're going off of the signs now, and the signs, pretty much the analogy on the zodiac signs, the energies is gonna play out a little bit more different, but pretty much in the same kind of you know, dealing with the same kind of frequency. So we're gonna touch on the signs, okay? The signs, the modalities in the ruling planets, okay? The signs, the modalities in the ruling planets. The modality is basically the elements, okay? Water, air, fire, and earth, right? So you have 4 elements. You also have 4 signs, 4 cardinal signs. You have Cancer, you have Libra, you have Capricorn, and you have Aries. Those are the 4 fixed stars. Those are the 4 stars that are at each corner of that wheel. One is at the top of the wheel. Capricorn is at the top of the wheel, right? Cancer is at the bottom of the wheel. Aries is at the left of the wheel, and Libra is at the right of the wheel. Water, air, fire, and earth. Cardinal signs pretty much spark off that sign. It sparks because it's 3 signs of each. It's 3 signs of each element. So each element has 3 signs. Earth has 3 signs. Water has 3 signs, right? Let me give you an example. Fire signs: Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. That's 3 fire signs, right? Aries is cardinal fire. Leo is fixed fire. And Sagittarius is mutable fire. Those are the modalities. Earth, you have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Capricorn is the cardinal earth, right? You have Virgo, which is the mutable earth, and Taurus is the fixed earth. Peace is good, Leroy. I'm doing a video right now. You heard? I'm doing a video right now, so. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. All right, now, so that's pretty much the dealing with the modalities. You understand? Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? All right, all right. What's going on? Hey, how you doing? All right. Yeah, so All right, so we're going to give you the energies going from the first house all the way to the 12th house. And these are the signs, modalities, and ruling planets. All right. So we're dealing with Aries being the first house. The first house, the ruling planet of the first house is Mars. Okay. Mars is the house ruler. So when you got a planet in a house and it likes to be at the house, I call it being home. So Mars, the planet Mars, is at home in the first house. Mars is at home in Aries. Okay. Aries represents the I am. The I am. Aries, dealing with cardinal fire, is initiates and creates a new ways on how to see and feel about things. That's what cardinal fire does. It initiates and creates new ways on how to see and feel about things. All right, and it represents the I am. Remember, I told you. Plus, the first house represents the first house represents the self. You know what I'm saying? The personality through it all. Right. So that's the first house. Aries is the first house. Aries is the constellation birthed out of the first house, okay? Second house is Taurus. Taurus is fixed earth. Taurus has a fixed way of thinking and being practical, okay? That's what fixed earth signs pretty much I would say the archetype of a fixed earth sign will be fixated on its own way of thinking and being practical. Fixated on its own way of thinking and being practical. And Taurus represents the I have. Also, the ruling planet for Taurus is Venus. So the planet that rules that house is Venus. It's more like the house ruling that planet. So that planet is just the landlord. So it's like a lord, you know what I'm saying, of that house. Venus is the lord, which is the lord of the goddess of love is Venus. Rules Taurus, okay? Second house, that's Taurus, fixed earth. To be fixated on its own way of thinking and being practical. All right. Third house is Gemini. All right. Gemini is the third house. Gemini is mutable air. Right. So Gemini is able to adapt and understand on how other people think in its own way of thinking and communicating. Okay. So it has a broad way of thinking and communicating. Okay. That's what mutable air signs do. That's what Geminis do. They think a lot and they like to communicate, but it's in a broad perspective. Like they're able to adapt and connect to all walks of life. You know what I'm saying? All kind of people. You understand? They can connect to those type of people. Ruling planet in Gemini is Mercury. Okay? Mercury is the ruling planet of that house, Gemini. Gemini represents the I think. So when you hear Geminis saying I think a lot, you know what I'm saying? That's what Geminis represent, the I think. Aries represents the I am. Taurus represents the I have. And Gemini represents the I think, okay? And that's mutable air, all right? That's the modality. Fourth house is Cancer, okay? Cancer is the fourth house. That's cardinal water. That's one of the fixed stars. That's dealing with initiating and creating new ways of dealing with the feelings and emotions, okay? That's how that's what cardinal water does. It initiates and creates new ways of dealing with the feelings and the emotions. Cancer represents the I feel, okay? That's what it represents, the I feel. So you might hear Cancer say, well, I feel like that's Cancer archetype, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the I feel. So the ruling planet of Cancer is the moon, okay? The moon rules Cancer. So the moon is at home in Cancer. It feels home at Cancer. So when you got the moon in your chart in Cancer, then you're real comfortable, laid back, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard for you to kind of break that comfortability to get off your butt, you know what I'm saying, and do something because you're comfortable. So that's what happens when you have that planet inside Cancer, all right? The fifth house is going to be Leo, okay? Leo is fixed fire, okay? So it's fixated on your own. Leo's archetype is fixated on its own way of seeing and feeling about things, okay? All right, peace, dog. I'll holler at you. All right. Leo is fixated on its own way of seeing and feeling about things. That's the archetype of Leo. Leo represents the I will, you know? So think about your chakra, you know what I'm saying? Think about the fifth chakra. You know, the sun. Think about the sun. You know what I'm saying? Is the soul, the solar plex. You know what I'm saying? Willing things into existence. You know, that's what Leo represents. Leo represents the will. You know what I'm saying? So it's I will. And the ruling planet is the sun. The sun rules Leo. Okay, fifth house stuff. Okay. That's why Leos like to shine a lot, you know what I'm saying? They like to be the center of attraction. They like to, you know what I'm saying, step up and take, you know, the difficult, you know what I'm saying, jobs. But once they get the difficult job, they're like, damn, why did I take this? I got so much on me, you know what I'm saying? That's the archetype of Leo, you know, represents the fifth house. Leo is fixed fire. Okay. Now, let's go to the 6th house. Virgo. Let me get a drink a sip of this real quick. Look, I got my little lava lamp type going, you know what I'm saying? Got some nice frankincense blowing up out of that. Giving me a nice little aroma, you know? Yeah, there we go. All right, let's get back to business. All right, Virgo. 6th house is the house of Virgo, okay? The 6th house. Virgo is mutable earth, okay? So Virgo pretty much has a broad way of thinking and analyzing, okay? So thinking and being active. Well, you can say Virgo has a mutable way, but it has just a broad way of thinking and being practical. So that's what a fixed earth sign is. It's fixated on its own way of thinking and being practical. Okay. Virgo represents the I analyze. So a lot of Virgos, they analyze. So it's thinking, analyzing, practicalizing. You know what I'm saying? Virgos want to see what it is. They want to, you know, bring it in there, and they want to do the work on it and see if that works out. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Can you practicalize it? Can I see it? You know what I'm saying? Don't just talk about it all day. Can I see what you got going on? Can I see the work that you speaking of? You know what I'm saying? I got to be able to see that. That's being practical and analyzing. You know what I'm saying? They need to see the solid of that. You know, so that's what Virgos deal with. Ruling planet of Virgo is Mercury. Okay, Mercury deals with change, rebellion. Mercury deals with actually deals with communicating. You know, communicating and analyzing. That's what Mercury does as a planet. That's the energies we get from Mercury. Okay, so yeah, so Virgo is mutable earth. Okay, all right, we're gonna go to the 7th house. The 7th house energies. The 7th house is Libra. Okay, that's like the middle of the being that we are. Remember, I told you the being that we are in. We're starting with Aries being the head in the 1st house. You go to the 2nd house, 3rd house, 4th house, 5th house, 6th house, 7th house. It's like a body that's bent over into a circle, you know what I'm saying? So the 7th house would be like the middle of the body, so it'll be like the waistline almost. So that's dealing with Libra. Libra deals with relationships, you know. So ruling planet of Libra is Venus, right? So Libra is cardinal air, right? Cardinal air, pretty much cardinal air deals with initiating new ways of thinking and communicating. That's cardinal air, initiating new ways of thinking and communicating. That's what air does. Air thinks and it communicates. You know, so they don't really get too emotional. Air signs don't really get too emotional, depending on where their planets is at. If they have a moon in Cancer, like I do, I tend to get emotional a lot because my moon is how I respond and react. My moon is who I truly am. So I express my moon through my sun. So I like to think and communicate, but I'm thinking and communicating about how I feel. You know what I'm saying? About my feelings and emotions. You understand? So that's how that works out. So, remember I told you you got to deal with the three most important signs: the sun, moon, and the sun, moon, and the rising, or the ascendant. Okay? So Libra is cardinal air. Like I said, Libra represents I balance. Remember I told you the middle of the being, you know what I'm saying? Libra that deals with the scale. You know what I'm saying? So Libra is like the balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Libras don't like to see sometimes other people getting taken advantage of. They feel like they got to step in and, make sure there's some balance here, because they don't like to see other people being treated unfairly because they wouldn't want it done to themselves. You know what I'm saying? They also know how to jump in and out of relationships, so sometimes you got to watch out for them Libras, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in a relationship, sometimes they know how to jump in and out that shit like hopscotch. You know what I'm saying? Air signs, that's an air sign, so it don't like to get trapped. You can't trap air too much. You know what I'm saying? It needs to escape. It needs to escape every now and then. So that's dealing with Libra. 8th house. 8th house is Scorpio. Scorpio is the 8th house, and pretty much what the 8th house. I broke down the energies of what the 8th house is. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with secrets, dealing with what's hidden. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. Change, transformation. So Scorpio is fixed water. Fixed water. So Scorpio has its own fixed way of dealing with the feelings and emotions. Okay? So it's fixated on its own way of dealing with the feelings and emotions. That's what water signs do. Water signs deal with feelings and emotions, okay? Scorpio represents the I desire. So when I told you about, in the ruling planet of Scorpio is Mars. So Mars rules the 8th house, which is Scorpio. Remember when I told you how Mars deals with, passion, desire, you know what I'm saying? Willpower, anger, aggression, So it's only right that it'll be placed in the 8th house. So it also will only be right. It makes sense. Scorpio represents the I desire. Scorpio, I have a desire for that. So my willpower and passion will push me closer to these desires, So that's 8th house stuff, hidden stuff there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Scorpios don't like to express themselves. They don't like to show you what's going on the inside. In order for you to know what's going on the inside of a Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to really trust you to be able to let what's going on the inside shine out. That's why it deals with the hidden, the secrets. You know what I'm saying? Scorpios keep a lot of secrets in. That's fixed water. Okay? Now we're going to the 9th house. 9th house is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the 9th house, right? Sagittarius is mutable fire. Mutable fire is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius archetype is basically has a broad way of dealing with its own and other people's feelings and seeing and feelings. You know what I'm saying? That's what fire signs, deal with the seeing and feeling. They can see their feelings. Remember I told you they can see their feelings, so they like to express their feelings. So Sagittarius are able to adapt to one's way of seeing and feeling. Okay? Sagittarius represent the I see. I see. You hear Sagittarius say, I see it as, the way I see it, because they always in fire. So fire deals with the future. So, fire deals with the future. So Sagittarius often find themselves thinking about the future, right? They also like to travel a lot. They're travelers. They also don't like to be caged in. You know what I'm saying? Sagittarius do not want to feel like they caged in and that you have power and control over them. They'll find a way to escape that shit and break out on your ass with the quickness. You know what I'm saying? That's how Sagittarius get down. It's mutable fire. Fire, so it's like spread it out fire. You know what I'm saying? It's not capsule fire. It's fire that's all over the fucking place. It's mutable. So they have a broad way of seeing and feeling things. You know what I'm saying? So they can see way into the future, but sometimes they get lost into the future. Sometimes you got to balance the future and the past out. Balance that shit in the middle so you can be able to tap into the past in order to create the future. You don't want to get lost just into the future because the fire is going to burn out the past, which is the water. So your fire, if you so much lost into the future, you're going to burn out the past. So basically, you're going to forget where you came from, and you're just going to be lost into the future. You have to remember where you came from in order to understand where you're going. So don't get lost into the future so much. Don't get lost into the fire. Vice versa. Don't get lost into the water. Water deals with the past. You know what I'm saying? Don't get lost into the water so much that you're putting your fire out, that you can't see the future because you're so lost into the past. That's how these elements work out. All right? And I told you Sagittarius represent the IC. Okay? Ruling planet is Jupiter. Jupiter deals with expansion. You know what I'm saying? Power, control. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding, philosophy, teaching, preaching. That's all Sagittarius shit right there. Okay? All right, let's move on. 10th house is Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th house. Cardinal Earth. Okay? Capricorn is cardinal Earth. Initiating new ways of how to think and being practical. Initiating new ways on thinking and analyzing. Thinking and being practical is a archetype of Earth, especially cardinal Earth. Ruling planet is Saturn. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with structure, stability. Capricorns, they like to make sure they got all their eggs in a basket. Capricorns don't be playing no games with it. You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure that shit is real. And they very, business orientated. They know how to put shit together and, rise to the motherfucking top on your ass. That's a Capricorn for you. The Capricorn represents the IUs. They'll use you too to get up. They'll use you to get to the top now as a stepping stool. They'll use family members, you know what I'm saying, and not even knowingly in a bad way, but if they feel like they can come up, you know what I'm saying, and use you as a stepping stool, they'll bring you and lift you up there with them, you know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, they'll use your ass too to get to where the fuck they gotta get to. Because they don't really tap into their feelings and emotions like that as well. They're more practical with it, you know what I'm saying? So their earth signs, earth and air signs are not too feely with it, depending on what their planet placement at. They might have a moon somewhere in water and fire, but they don't have no water and fire. So they don't deal with the emotions, you know what I'm saying, and feelings like that, you know? Earth signs and air signs don't really deal with the emotions and feelings like that. Earth signs and air signs, and that's going to be another video. I'm going to have to make another video on that, you know what I'm saying? So earth signs and air signs deal a lot with, being practical and thinking. That's what earth and air does. Earth and air is practical thinking. All right. Represents the IUs. Capricorns initiate new ways of thinking and being practical. All right. Let's go to the 11th house. Is Aquarius, right? Then the ruling planet for Aquarius is Uranus and Saturn. Uranus and Saturn rules Aquarius, okay? So you're dealing with change, rebellion, opposition. You're dealing with structure, stability. Also here, Aquarius is fixed air. I'm an Aquarius. It's fixated on its own way of thinking and communicating. That's what fixed air does. Fixed air thinks about its own way of thinking and communicating. So we like to think and communicate. And then you jumble in all the other planets, then you get a little bit more of what, Aquarius is do. So Aquarius is represent the I know. I know this myself because I say I know a lot. I know, yeah, I know, nigga. I know, man. That's Aquarius shit right there. You know what I'm saying? All right, I don't want to make this video too long. It's already 22 minutes. So we're going to go to the 12th house, okay? Pisces is the 12th house, is Pisces. And I'm also going to do another video about the modalities too, man. I done did the houses, you know what I'm saying? I got to do the modalities, on another video. Because I did the modalities and the houses all in one video. I should have did just the houses, just the signs, you know what I'm saying? And not the modalities. But Pisces, 12th house, okay? The 12th house is Jupiter. And Jupiter rules the 12th house, okay? That's power, you know what I'm saying? Jupiter deals with a lot of transformation, power and control. Neptune deals with let me see what Neptune exactly deals with, so I don't miss out on that one. Yeah, we'll get back to it. Neptune, I want to make sure I hit everything right. Deals with dreams, illusions, subconscious, imagination, and fantasy, okay? That's what Neptune deals with. Represents the I believe. A lot of Pisces, they get, sometimes, they get in that dream state, in that dream world where they as I believe, that's the archetype, sort of what a lot of Pisces in dealing with immutable water. Immutable water is Pisces dealing with other people's ways in a broad way of dealing with the feelings and emotions, okay? That's what Pisces has. It deals with a broad way of dealing with other people's and your own feelings and emotions, okay? On a broad scale. All right, so that's Pisces. So that's the houses and the modalities in a nutshell. I'm going to come back with another video about the modalities, though, all right? It's your boy, Elevated Ace. Peace.